There we go. All right. Good morning, everyone. Another wonderful day in the markets. Ended up the day fairly strong yesterday. At the end of the day, oil with a big decline. Big decline. Looks like Roku's down this morning. Looks like ready for another leg lower if it doesn't reverse its status here. Yeah.
I had a pretty scary night.
All right. Good morning, Rob. Sorry about that. My son just came in and told me about a eerie night that he had. He had a dream he was being kidnapped and woke up and saw his cat with glowing eyes staring him in the face. That's pretty spooky. Sorry, I had to pay attention to my kid there for a moment. All right, so Nasdaq down a little this morning, 0.3%. Oil just caved in yesterday. Looks like it's continuing its route lower today as well. Came in most of the distance. That was quite a drop for oil. Um, Market a little red today. Not too much green going on. Saw general declining volumes. Yesterday wasn't an uptick day for the Nasdaq. Take a look at the ES as well. ES has a little bit more volume. Let's take a look at the ES for a minute. Yeah, a little bit more volume on the ES. It's not. It's better, but it's not. Oil. Um, well, no, I don't think it's that weird to be. I mean, if you remember, we talked about oil. Um, we talked about oil. It. I get it confused because I talked about it twice. We talked about it in the show, and then I talked about it in my power hour. During the power hour, we were up here. Also, I think the largest gap in oil since like a long time, like the Gulf War, they said, which is like 20, 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Man, I'm old. And anytime you get a gap like that on really a not that crazy event, the Gulf War, big deal. I mean, took years, um, hundreds of thousands of people, killed a lot more than that. Um, and then you get the same gap on a drone strike. Seems a little different. Seems a little like, why are we gapping up for such a non-event? I mean, all Iran had, it was a drone strike. It wasn't like they invaded I'm sorry, Saudi Arabia. It wasn't like they invaded Saudi Arabia. They flew drones into Saudi Arabia and blew up four things. So I'm not really shocked it reversed. As hard as it did, as fast as it did, yes, I was thinking maybe a week or so that it would kind of maintain high and then drop. I didn't think it would drop the next day. It really dropped the next day. It actually dropped that the day that it started, and then it just kind of kept going. dropped right there, and then continued dropping. So it was only up for about 3/4 of a day. Which, yeah, that does seem like a fairly quick reversal, but this just shows you that how much of a non-event it was. There was just so many people doing whatever they were doing, thinking it was something, thinking it was the prelude to the next war, but it was drone strike. Roku taking it on the chin this morning. Lots of volume this morning too, tremendous amount of volume. So that move is probably definitely exhausted itself. One of the leaders of this market also coming in, and so far down 20%. 20% puts us past flat base territory. Could go down as much as 33%, which puts us down at about the 117-ish level, 118 level. Which on the daily chart looks like this. Undercutting the 50-day moving average probably. We'll see how it does it. If it doesn't do it on crazy volume, then it's probably just just going to base out and do just fine. Let's go up to the global watch list real quick. See what's going on there. CDW, SoFun again. SoFun likes being on this list lately. There's a general curl for you, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't really notice it. These little signals are always up in my way. General curl for SoFun, that's pretty good. CDW gap into all-time highs. Could argue this is a flat base right here, even though this is not a red week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it would still definitely qualify as a flat base. Down 12%. That's good for a flat base. And it's attempting to break out. We'll see if it does it. It's attempting the breakout. It's right there at the highs. Volume is pretty heavy this morning. Very heavy. Look at that. We're already at average volume for CDW. So it's going to have to perform, or this is definitely a top for CDW. Grifols, SoFun. And Funko. So yesterday dropped down pretty far back underneath where I was comfortable. I was trying to buy the opening range, if you remember. Well, I'm not sure if I was actually going to trade it or not. I don't think I was. But able to come back the rest of the day on very low volume. Not really comfortable just blanket buying this one at all. WHG trying to come back. Etsy trying to come back after a big rout to the downside from 70 to 50 with a quickness. 34, 35%. So kind of still in the range of bases, but it's on the extended range for sure. And your buy point is going to be actually up here. This would probably most likely be a double bottom. You see one bottom here, another bottom here, lower than the first. And so your buy point is the high of the middle, which is actually right where my alert level is. So probably could expect this to get up to that point, which from this stage is probably quite a significant distance. Yeah, about 17%. It's nothing to laugh at. Could try to take that trade, but it's in the middle of the run. Hard to jump in right in the middle. There's INS. CGC maybe trying to reverse volume needs to pick up. Annex still up in this high area, which isn't bad. What's Eli Lilly doing? Forming a much wider base. That could lead to a breakout in the future. We had a multi-year base over here lead to a beautiful rally. Square just with zero confidence. Just none. All year long, it's just been failure after failure. It had a move in the very beginning of the year and then a move in the very middle of the year, but never could follow through. And we're actually underneath that middle low point right here underneath the trend line. So this is going to take on a different stature. Hopefully they can get their act together. Square. Dorm. Tesla. How's Tesla doing? That little cup and handle was looking kind of weird. All right, I guess we got a potential handle on the books here. We'll see how it ends the week. Could end up with a red. Nope. Could end up with a red week maybe. That could be the handle. If we don't go, we can't go much lower than like 232 for the handle to be valid. Fairly loose interpretation of a cup with handle, but it's a nice 52% rally. So I'll take that back. That's actually a pretty valid cup and handle. 52% rally, decline of 21%, 20%. So yeah, pretty good potential there for Tesla. It's probably one of the very few very classical chart patterns, and Tesla's done this before. We went over it last time. Yandex, very large cup and handle up here, but that's way deeper, 44%. I don't think that qualifies. Square keeps following us down. Come on, Square, go away. NVIDIA, Dorm. F5 Networks continues just walking down. Nothing crazy. Nice measured. It's a little steeper than I would like on the weekly chart. But actually, I really do like these because they can lead to some really nice run-ups. You can see here there's a sequence of these declining channels, whatever you want to call them. Then they run for like a year. So we'll see if this one's run. It's gone longer and deeper than these other ones in the past. Fairly choppy since it tried to break out from, looks like that type of a base, and it's undercut. So definitely some weakness around there. Boeing able to come back pretty nicely. I guess this whole 737 MAX fiasco is only taking away the current gains. It's not really demolishing the stock. Being held well above the $300 level. Looks like range bound between $300 and $400 at this stage of the game. So not too bad. Actually, quite a bit of volume right there. It was a nice 3 or 4 day setup, and then kind of stair stepping higher. Nice. Looks like it's got some resistance. I'd say up here about the $400. Yeah, $300 to $400. So about $400. Only about $15 left to go until it may find some more resistance, unless it has some really good news. But you may see that in the charts before you hear it in the news. Seems like Boeing's a big enough company. Stuff leaks out everywhere. So maybe we've already seen the early buying in Boeing for a potential fix on the 737 issue. O'Reilly holding up very nice up here. 16% deep. That could qualify as a flat base. 15% supposed to be the number, but 16 is not too far off. And very, very tight ranging patterns here. Creating a volatility funnel, symmetrical triangle. IBD would call it a cup with handle. And looks like a little mini failed breakout over there. And we'll see if it's able to come back and try again for O'Reilly Auto Parts. That could be a good move too. Very sideways action. I like these types of bases. At least in crypto, and stocks are kind of rare. At least I haven't seen them a tremendous amount. Hey, morning, Eli. Was going through a bunch of stocks in the global list here. Noticed a couple of broader bases in the middle of forming. Crypto is a little more exciting right now. Goes back and forth. That's why you just keep an eye on both. LAD, PKG. PKG did pretty good right there. Broke out of that longer term trend. That could be a trend change there for PKG. Good volume on the way up. Had an earnings or had a dividend. Okay, there's the dividend. So yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. See if it can eclipse this little high here about the 109.49. At least get back up there. That could lead to a nice little move in PKG. Alibaba still looking pretty good here, holding fairly tight. Although down as much as 38%. Of course, there was a correction right around here. Actually, a bear market right around there. So could give Alibaba a little bit more room, but able to go very tight here since then. Definite higher lows, and we got a trend line here that I think is probably pretty valid. Let me throw an alert. Yeah, I don't think XLM and XRP would be leading our rally as much as they are. Could be short-lived though. We'll see. But I mean, looks good so far. MJ taking it on the chin this morning, or actually no, yesterday. Breaking my trend line right there. And we'll see if MG just dies. Should be kind of difficult. Starbucks, that bounce yesterday didn't go very far. It rallied for a good while, about a half hour, actually hour and a half, and then just caved right in. Just overt weakness for Starbucks for whatever reason. There's something going on that isn't public yet. FXI, more just bases. You're in the middle of bases all over the place is what you're seeing, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Still could base some more. Still some room left to go to the downside for many of these names, and that's why we're kind of in that choppy market situation. And I think we're just likely to continue seeing that for a little bit, barring any major events. Hey, Bugs. It's charged. Did you want to drive it?
It is charged?
Yeah. Are you gonna drive it?
No.
Okay. Go take your scooter around the block, dude. Air lease, what I'll read. Transportation index, what are you doing? Fairly choppy, fairly wide ranging too, not too bad. A breakout. So the transportation index, which is what this is, the transportation on the Nasdaq, if I'm not mistaken. The transportation index is like your FedEx, your companies that transport stuff, railroads, I guess airlines, but not passenger airlines, but it's more meant for like cargo, and it kind of front runs the economy a little bit. You'll see moves in the transports generally before you'll see moves in the market. So I probably don't look at this as much as I should. Let's throw it on the actionable list. There we go. Shen. Grub. And Beyond Meat. We'll see right there. MasterCard. Yeah, so not a tremendous amount bullish here today. Crypto is definitely a little more exciting. Restoration Hardware, boom, right there. Wow. Well, that's what happens when you take some time off. You get a nice little move right there. That's a nice little move out of RH. 15% with a quickness, not bad. Good volume too. Wow, definitely one of the stronger stocks right now. It's been on a huge rally since a whole earnings report ago, and then a follow through on the next earnings report. So just a huge move for Restoration Hardware. Wow, 100%. Holy crap. And then if you bought the end of the earnings gap, you're still up 55%. So that's a tremendous move for Restoration Hardware. I guess you buy under the channel. That's your signal. That's all I got right there. Under the channel, screw earnings, and then just go with it. It's crazy. Sometimes breaking all the rules does good. Need a back test breaking all the rules. Let's back test strictly adhering to the rules and back test breaking the rules. See how that works out. MDCO, very bullish and holding very tight up here too. Good stuff. Paycom, definitely basing. Skyworks, after almost 2 years of basing, maybe we'll get a run out of that as it's found support 3 times down here at the $60 level. We're at 80 right now. I think I'll move up in the next year or two up there to that 115 level. Just to pick a round number, could be warranted. Obviously, take a while to get there, but should make a couple notes of some of these like longer term plays. NIO, never really doing anything. ABC with a huge uptrend several years ago. You see 2012, 13, 14, early 15 up to 120. And then right now able to hold very tight. That's a big, definitely a larger base. Kind of tightening, but it's finding support around 70. That's a good place to pick up some long-term shares. Volume's declining on the weekly. You see the past year and a half, it's been able to not have a lot of spikes. So we'll see if we're going to maybe come out of this in the next little bit. But the rally at the breakout point is only going to give you like 20 plus, little over 20%. You see where the trend line is right here is right around $100, maybe 95, and the high's at 120. So it's not a massive. So 27%, it's okay. If we do get back to 70 again, if you can get some really long, or just hold it for 72%, that's not too bad. Go down here a little more to 65%. But ABC has potential for very, very long term. You don't need to make a different watch list. Where's Crate Watch? Oh. Crate Watch list. There we go. Gonna do long-term turnarounds. And I'll just keep adding to this thing. The hell? All right, let's keep going here. Skyworks, another one of those needs to go on that long-term turnarounds. Got to keep an eye on these, probably separately too, just to have the right mindset when you look at them. Fortinet. Now that one could be something. I'm not sure about long. It's like a year long base, so I'll add it. Las Vegas Sands. One day you'll get going again. And I remember when VMware IPO'd. Crazy. Look at that. 2016 down at 25. Who'd have thunk it all the way to 200? Paycom, beautiful. Qualys, nice long base. Netflix down lower here. Probably have to look into the story of this stock a little bit. Volume is really appears to have just drifted away. Kind of had right there what looks like a parabolic run. So I'm not sure if this is going to go higher. Failed to go higher over here. Actually went lower on increasing volume. We'll see if that's probably likely to continue at the moment. And longer term, if that doesn't, that's going to be a big decline for Netflix if it can't turn itself around there. SOImatch.com. Newer took a dump. Big dump. Adobe. Another crazy run, multi-year run. Insane run. Pays, another insane run. This one we participated in though. Think get enough of it. Roku starting the next leg lower, it looks like. And that's the last one on the global watch list. It looks like it, 8% for Roku, so definitely pulling in. NASDAQ 0.3% lower. Not much going on right here, it looks like. Tomorrow we may have to go through and adjust our actionable list. Overstock leading lower on my list after just a major run-up and then a major decline. Just huge moves in Overstock. I mean, it's pretty volatile before that too, but then the volatility just increased dramatically. You see it got even wider. A new low and then a new high. Crazy for Overstock. And Roku either coming down to Munich or Overstock is coming back up to say hi. I don't know, but yeah, not touching Overstock down here, that's for sure. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Market's not doing much. Maybe ZTO. Oh, ZTO getting bullish this morning. Following through some. Coming way out of lows. Volume pretty good. Only a half an hour in the day. And average is already over half. So maybe ZTO can get rocking. It's definitely above that 20 level that we were talking about for ages, going all the way back down here to June. Actually, back further than that. I think we were talking about 20 bucks over here. And I'll go through this list again. INS. Funko trying to come back. BLD still doing great. DocuSign bouncing back very nicely. Huge gap on earnings. Huge gap holding higher, volume declining. That's good. DocuSign is showing some leadership in a pretty bad tape. You can see here from the IPO perspective, only IPO'd last year. And still unable to get over that IPO high, which is right there over 67. So that would be a very overt buy point. That could cause a very large run in DocuSign. Obviously, there's quite a little ways to go there. Chipotle happily going higher. Wants to go to new highs. GLD. APAM Disney. So, really the only thing fairly exciting here is ZTO returning, and very, very quick, as a matter of fact. Going back up. This should be a pretty good day for ZTO. Lots of volume. Stepping in right there. So I think I'm going to bounce though, guys. A couple of things to do this morning. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. And maybe we'll see something then. All right, guys. Bye.